Welcome to another interesting and wonderful episode on Executive Chats, the show that discusses and engages with vibrant business executives. It's a platform that connects you with role models in the entrepreneurial, arts and social industry. Today is going to be such an interesting one, I promise you that, and I hope you enjoy it. My name is Oluwadamlola Ojo. Thank you for joining me. We'll take this quick break. Please stay with us. Welcome back on Executive Chat. Today we have our executive who is a road safety advocate, a retired motorway driver, yes, and also he has worked as a clerk and so many more things. And when we talk about road safety, his name would ring a bell. So today I'll be chatting with Adenusi Patrick right here in his relaxation place. Thank you for your time.
It's a pleasure.
First, let's go back into your background. How you started, your growing up, how was it like?
Yeah, my growing up was very good. My father was a polygamous person. I happened to be number 3, the third child. Currently, the second one has passed. And my father was very generous. The children are over 30, and I grew up in Benin. I schooled in Arize Primary School in Benin City, and later my father had to move to a community outside Benin. It's called Ologbo. He was working for a company then. I just found out a couple of days ago that the company has folded up, and it was a little pain in my heart. However, we moved to Ologbo, where I then relocated from Arize Primary School to the RCM Primary School in Ologbo. From there, I came to Ondo to do my primary 6 in Awoshika Memorial Primary School, and from there I proceeded to Okada Grammar School, where I had my secondary education. And I was not privileged to go to the university, but I read daily at about 3 hours daily reading, and I've done some executive programs. Okay, so talking about not going to the university, you never did? I never had a university education till now. I never had a university education, but I'm not disadvantaged. I didn't see my not having a university education as a disadvantage. Knowledge is imparted at the university level, it is imparted at the secondary school level, but what your productivity determines how far you go.
So talking about being a retired motorway driver, when I heard the story, I was so interested in knowing more to you being a retired motorway driver and right now a successful road safety advocate. How did it start? A phase preceded the driving motorway. Okay. By the time I finished secondary school way back 1980, and all that happened, I picked a job as a receptionist in a hotel in Antonin Village. So I worked as a receptionist, I worked as a barman, I worked as a waiter, and I also served in the housekeeping department. The goal was to have knowledge of all the departments. Then I was being groomed to be a supervisor. Okay. However, in between, there was one of my customers, Mr. Tunde Onokoya, who had a car shop. He sells motor cars, and he piqued interest in me the way I render services. And I approached the clients. So he approached me one day and asked me if I could read and write, which I said yes I could. And he said if I wouldn't mind work with him. So I consented. So I resigned from the hotel where I worked in Anthony Village, and then I worked with him as a clerk in his motor company, and I was a captain in that particular organization.
I resigned from there and worked with a pharmaceutical company, a wholesale pharmaceutical company that distributes for the multinationals. Okay. So we as wholesalers sell to the retail outlet. So on a daily basis, I had to go out, look for orders from retail outlets, and on the average, I walk minimum 5 kilometers daily because most of my visits were on foot. And so way back 1989, we had a bus and we had a driver. The drivers were not faithful, and they thought, well, if they don't do it, there's nothing we can do about it. They didn't know that my driving was very high. My driving skill was extremely high. So I took the bus myself and I began to drive the bus, and I was flying Oshodi to Wharf. There are countless number of times I would have gone off from Oshodi and passengers will be waiting for me in Oshodi. I've left Oshodi going already to Wharf. When I get to Wharf, normally I don't stay, I don't queue. I just start coming back because I know people will be waiting for me. And there was just a difference in my driving and my conductors. I told them they must be polite to the customers, because I know that one of the things that I do, that I have done over the years and I'm still doing, is that I read about 3 hours every day. So in my reading different printed matters that come across my way, I had read about good customer service. So when I'm pulling up at the bus stop, the passengers are getting down, I say, oh, thank you for riding with us. The normal Mulue driver or the normal Danfo driver won't say that. And as a driver, I had my tie on. My tie was always knotted. Wow. And so even the policemen approached me differently. And so the approach with which I give to my clients, some of them will wait. And so when I get to Wharf, I just make a turn, I start coming back. When I get to Oshodi, I join the queue, and you just have a lot of passengers waiting, and they are shouting, Wharf, 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 Wharf. Nobody's going in. They say, okay, look, they already know that they will not join the bus on queue. So they just tell me, okay, come to the front and load them into my bus, and off I go again. So I had a nice time driving the Molue bus. And in December, I would take passengers out of Lagos to Aba, to Onitsha. Sometimes I went as far as to Okene.
Oh, that's a journey. So okay, we'll go on this quick break, and when we come back, we still have a lot more to talk to Adenusi Patrick. Please stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back from that quick break, and as I told you earlier, we're still going to talk about a lot of things with Adenusi Patrick. So sir, before we went on the break, you were talking about things you've done. So I was thinking, have you handled any project and failed?
As a matter of fact, every solution is a result of improving on failure that succeeded.
Okay.
I have failed time and again, severally. I've failed severally, and one major one that is a mixture of failure and success is the retroreflective tape. Those red and white tapes you see on trucks, buses. I'm privileged to have been the one that pioneered the use in this country. And I love my country, Nigeria. In the early 70s, late 80s, into the early 90s, on the Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria, they were running some jingles then. One of them says, Nigeria na my country, I must do better for them. And that jingle, it gave birth to patriotism in my heart.
And so I made up my mind that this corruption that is plaguing Nigeria, I'm not going to be a part of it. And so when I brought back the retroreflective tape concept to the country, for example, there were hurdles from the custom to the road safety. I wanted to pay duty. I was offered to pay less duty, and I said, I will not do that. I'll be cheating my country if I do that. So I refused, and for not doing that, they surcharged me additional 10%. The average Nigerian will count that as a failure, but I am happy that I did. In the book, I am not among the corrupt, either breastfeeding corruption or not being a part of it. And that led to the business opportunity or empire that I built crumbled because there was a loss of 350 million naira.
Oh, that's huge.
And it looks huge, it's small money. You know, so but today it has come to stay, the use of the retroreflective tape. Many people now import those materials. I was the only business person that you could buy the retroreflective tape from before. So I have succeeded because I paved way for people to come in. I have succeeded in that project that some saw as failed project, because today we have reduced the number of road crashes that would have happened as a result of poor visibility. I am a survivor of crashing into a broken down truck. I escaped crashing into one in 1983. And so now what would have led to my death, now I am an advocate of how that will be improved and how many lives will be saved.
Let's talk about us, the youth of nowadays in Nigeria generally. How do you think is wrong with us?
The Nigerian youth right now are very lazy, mentally lazy.
We are lazy.
They don't want to read, they don't want to walk. So look, if you see me drive an SUV, it didn't just drop. I walked to get there. So you should find out from me what I did to get to where I am. Not just look at me and from that low level that you are in, you think the next thing for you to do is to alter figure. You are giving political opportunity, and you use the money that is meant for our collective development for yourself and your household. That's impoverishedness. The today youth are not thinking. Thinkers rule the world.
So great. Last question. What's your quote of all time?
Safety is like a wheelbarrow. It stands still until somebody pushes it.
Okay.
A wheelbarrow is stationary.
Okay.
If nobody pushes it, it goes nowhere. So safety is like a wheelbarrow. It stands still until someone pushes it.
Okay, it's been so great chatting with you. Thank you very much, sir.
It's a pleasure.
For making our time for us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
That's how we'll be wrapping up the show for today. And I've been chatting with Adenusi Patrick, who is a retired Molue driver and also a road safety advocate. And as you've heard from him, we have to be hardworking. Yes, we have to be hardworking. So this is where I'll be going away. Join us on our social media page, scrolling on your TV. Till I see you next week. My name is Oluwa Damlola Ojo. Stay inspired and be positive. Bye for now.